Today's topic, employer benefits. I can't tell you how many times I've been doing kind of a basic checkup with a client, asking them about all the benefits they receive through their employer, and they have no idea. And they can't remember. And it's understandable, right? Because, you go through that open enrollment period each year, and usually you're busy and you click through and you just kind of click and maybe kind of half understand some of the stuff that you're selecting. And so it stands to reason that, if I gave you a pop quiz right now, hey, tell me about, different insurance coverages and the like through work, maybe you wouldn't remember. So today I want to talk a little bit about employer benefits, because here's the deal. The labor market is tight right now. Employers are scrambling to try and attract and retain talent, and part of the total compensation package has now come to center around what are all the different benefits the employer is offering you, okay? So if that's part of the landscape, you need to know that, and if you're offered a benefit, you ought to know a little bit about it as to whether or not you want to take advantage of it. So let's dive in. So let's kind of just go through the laundry list of the different enrollment types. And if you have access to the list of benefits you're offered to work, you may want to pause me and go ahead and pull that up. Follow along. So firstly, let's cover the big ones. Medical, dental, vision. There is nothing that could derail a financial plan faster than a huge medical cost due to a lack of coverage. We're playing defense kind of game on the financial planning front with these, but it's just something you got to have. So if your employer is offering medical, you got to make sure you have coverage. Certainly coordinate with your spouse's coverage if they have coverage as well. Medical, dental, vision, you got to make sure you're enrolled. The other is other categories of insurance to include life insurance. Now my colleague Rob, he had a great video kind of breaking down open enrollment and life insurance coverage. If your employer is offering life insurance coverage, that is typically the most cost-effective way to secure life insurance coverage. So you want to look into that. Usually it's offered in multiples of your salary. There's a different conversation as to how much you should have. We can have that conversation, but certainly want to be aware if you're offered life insurance. The other category of insurance would be disability. Usually there's short-term disability as well as long-term disability coverage. Now, what gives? What is this for? What is the purpose of this? This is one of the main kind of contenders on the I don't remember list. Disability insurance is designed to compensate you, to replace your salary in the event you are unable to work due to a medical emergency or whatever. So short-term disability, pretty self-explanatory, it's for a shorter term kind of an instance. You may want to look into the details of the actual coverage you're offered, because typically that coverage is of a certain percentage of your salary for a certain time period. But you want to know what that is, because it usually kind of dovetails nicely with your long-term disability coverage. Typically, there's what's called an elimination period on your long-term disability policy, which is, okay, I understand that you have this disability, you're unable to work, but we're not gonna pay out on your long-term disability policy until X amount of time has passed. That's when it's great to have short-term disability to kick in and to begin paying you that benefit while you wait for long-term disability. Okay, let's pause for a quick pop quiz. A, D, and D. Do you know what that is? Do you have it? Are you covered through your employer? Okay. Accidental death and dismemberment. It's a type of insurance I'm sure you've seen, probably know what it is, maybe don't, but this is a specific type of insurance that covers specific events and specific types of injuries. Okay, so don't confuse that with your actual life insurance policy. If you have A, D, and D, I've heard a lot of clients say this. Oh yeah, I've got life insurance. It's the A, D, and D. They're two different things, okay? Accidental death and dismemberment only pays out under certain specified events, accidents and types of injuries, whereas life insurance is just generic, loss of life. So you need to know that as well. And AD&D, you're sitting there going, what are the chances I'm in that type of an accident? What are the chances I'm in that, I have sustained that type of injury? Number one, it's typically dirt cheap. Okay, so it couldn't hurt to just go ahead and enroll for it. And two, insurance, you could say that about any kind of insurance, right? What are the chances? All right, it's only in the event that you actually need it that you're going, man, I wish I had that. Okay, so don't lose sight of the A, D, and D. The last one I'll just touch on here is just the generic kind of health savings category. So you've got two types that you're potentially offered through your employer, a health savings account and a flexible spending account. Okay, usually it's an either or through your employer, so you should know, kind of study up on which one you're offered and what that entails. In general, kind of the difference between the two, HSA is you can grow and accrue that balance over multiple years, whereas the flexible spending account is more of a use it or lose it kind of account that's funded on your behalf by the employer each year. Now, I'll say too, there's a whole litany of other potential benefits that you may be offered. Policies ensuring against specific types of chronic or critical illnesses, for example. The point is you need to look through what you're offered and decide, is that of value to you? Because as I say, there's employers across the country who are sitting there racking their brains. How can we offer more competitive benefits packages to our employers? And they've put all that work in and identified you as a great candidate they want to offer these benefits. Take advantage of it. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us for today's video about employer benefits. And as always, if you have additional questions, we're here for you. Give us a call.